Thank you very much, Ben, and good evening, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Now, can I too begin by acknowledging the traditional owners, the Ngunnawal people on whose land we gather tonight. I welcome Bill Shorten, Leader of the Opposition, Shane Rattenbury, who I've seen in the crowd, my ministerial, part of my outstanding new cabinet, other members of the Federal Parliament, local MLAs who may be here, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. It's a great pleasure to be able to say a few words tonight about the level, about the Australia Institute and about progressive policy making in the heart of progressive Australia. And if there's one thing that our 2016 ACT election demonstrated, is the power of good policy backed up by intense on-the-ground campaigning. Those two factors came together to re-elect the most progressive government in Australia, a government that has an agenda for this city and for this city, our national capital, to show national and international leadership on issues that matter, not just to Canberrans, but to Australians and to progressive thinking people around the world. We want this city to be that beacon of good policy, well implemented, of social equality and of inclusion for everyone. And these are easy things for politicians to say at times, harder to implement, and it needs the support of good people and good ideas right across the political spectrum, but particularly those who are progressively minded. And I want to pick up on a point that Ben made. It's not just the development of good policy, it's its implementation. And that's a lot of what this city is about and the role that Canberra plays in our country. And the opportunities, I think, that are here in this institution and what will be created here in this space and what it can deliver for our country is very significant. The opportunity to bring people and ideas together, to interface in this city, a place like no other, where all of the big decisions about our country's future are made. It's Canberra's time, it's the Australia Institute's time, and it's time for the level. That's why I'm so pleased it's happening here in Canberra. You'll forgive me for enjoying the fact that it is just south of Canberra Avenue, which is not exactly the most progressive part of my own electorate. So I like the fact that we're just inching across the road into Tory heartland to bring progressive ideas to the fore. Sorry, we won almost every booth in my electorate, but for ones right around here. Nevertheless, what will happen here will demonstrate what's possible in the city of Canberra over the next 4 years in particular. And what I want to say to everyone here who's supported my government and supported our re-election is that we thank you for that, but we also acknowledge the big challenge ahead of us. But let's not forget that there aren't many governments in this country who've been elected twice on a positive agenda around tax reform, infrastructure investment, particularly in public transport. Everything that we were told would see us thrown out of office, we campaigned positively for and got a great result. A primary vote of 57% in the booths along the light rail stage one. People who said tax reform would mean that we'd be thrown out of office. Even a few progressive journalists writing for the Fairfax Press, I note. But 2 elections in a row, we've proved them wrong. And that's the power of good policy well implemented. And for what will happen in this place, let that continue. Thank you again for the invitation to say a few words. It's wonderful to be here and wonderful to celebrate what will happen here with all of you tonight. Thank you.